Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Welcome back to day 10. Day 10 is all about the attack self. That's the inner critic that goes on overdrive and gives you a hard time, basically. We're going to shine some light on shame as it's turned inward, and we always or often call it the inner critic. Um, so the thing is, when shame hits or it comes up for you. Sometimes you're aware, sometimes you're not, but your your responses are usually automatic. But not everyone hides. This particular one we talked about that yesterday, but this particular response today is really about when you turn on yourself and you attack yourself in a way. It's like when you say things to yourself like, I'm so stupid. I never get this right. Why do I even try? Those words just send like a shiver of energy through me that I can't even tolerate. Like that is feels so horrible to me. And I hope that um, as you're doing this work, it's going to feel uncomfortable enough for you that you can create new responses to what happens when this particular shame system that you have going on in your being, most women do, when it comes up. So, on the compass of shame that we were talking about yesterday, this is number two, the attack self pole, a pattern reaction to shaming trigger, not a statement of truth. It's a script that our brains reach for quickly, unconsciously often, because it's familiar. And actually, some of the things I'm going to say today stem from work that Dr. Claire Zamet did. And if you don't know who she is, just Google her name and feminine power, and you'll find out some amazing stuff. She's done amazing work, and I've actually studied under her coaching training. And um, she talks about how to treat this pattern as a learned survival strategy that can be rewritten because it can be rewritten. So what you do is you have to make the script visible so you can, of course, as I always say, be aware of it. That's always the first step. And then you can choose what you want to do next. So shame scripts are described as really things that recur, as we've said, reactions that happen on autopilot until we actually become aware of them and name them, and then we can choose to do something differently. So usually the inner speech is being. You have to be present to it. You have to bring a warmth and a witnessing presence to the body. And we'll do this in an exercise in a little bit, which is usually like a hand over your heart, acknowledging the somatic sponsorship and creating a space where you can um, language what's happening. You put a label on it. So what that does is it reconnects your body's wisdom and it creates a psychological distance from the critic. So there's science behind it. It actually works. Neuroscience actually backs this up completely. Simply putting feelings into words can reduce amygdala reactivity, making us less susceptible to our emotions hijacking everything about us, our day, our thoughts, our feelings, everything. So here's how you practice this transformation in the moment. When the inner critic actually flares up, you want to, on the spot, become aware of it and realize, this is my attack pattern, my attack myself pattern, and you name it. And naming it moves you from being the target to being the observer. Now you're witnessing it, right? You're getting out of the consciousness of that ingrained pattern that's been going on forever. You're stepping back and you're observing what's happening. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to name it so you can witness it. And then your next step is to be kind to yourself. Put your hand on your heart. Do what I love to do when we're doing this kind of transformation work in every day. I mean, this is how you calm your body down, calm your mind down. Take a slow breath in And double exhale out. At least the longer your exhale is, the more relaxed you will feel. This is a yogic practice. So tell yourself as you are acknowledging your heart, acknowledging your body and your being, I see you. This is hard. Acknowledge it. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to admit what's going on, because if you do, you're allowing that pattern to continue, and that's not what we want. We want to break this pattern and create something new. So this being kind to yourself is going to repair that split between the head and the body. So you're not arguing with yourself all the time. Okay, name it. So, for example, I feel ashamed and anxious. Using words softens the emotional surge and it gives you a choice, right? Know it, right? The exact jab it's throwing at you. What fear is this trying to protect me from? So, what are the words that are happening in your head? Um, you suck at writing. Whatever it is that's going on, what is that protecting me from? Rejection? Failure? Finding out that I don't like to really write, but I love the picture of being a writer. So, what you've done here, when you know what is happening, is to move um, into a problem solving mode, right? You're not punishing yourself. You're figuring out what's going on here so you can reframe it, and that, of course, is the next step. Shift from global self attack to attacking yourself to being compassionate and true, as we said, be kind, and then say something like, I made a mistake and I can repair it, right? I suck at writing, but I'm going to practice in my journal and see how it feels. Let's just see how it turns out. And something like, learning this takes time and I'm improving. If you're doing a completely new task, a new something you've never done before, and you suck at it, of course you do. I used to say this to my son all the time. He would do something and not be good at it, and I'd say, "You didn't come out of the womb knowing how to do that. You came out of the womb with a lot of things, but not knowing how to do everything. So you have to learn and be kind to yourself along the way. You're going to be learning your entire life. So get this down. Learning takes time, and be kind to yourself along the way, right? And then take a step forward. Do the thing that you're thinking about, that your mind is berating you about, that you are holding yourself back from doing, and maybe you've been holding yourself back for your entire freaking lifetime. It doesn't matter if it's been a day, a week, a life. Just do the thing that scares you the most, right? Ask the clarifying questions so you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, I'm terrified of writing, but I'm going to get to the end of my first story if it's the last thing I do. My first short story. I don't care if it's crap. I don't care if I rip it up. I'm going to get to the end of it. So practice that skill and repeat the action as you develop these new stories over and over and over again. Always take that one step forward, creating new habits, creating new beliefs, creating new ways of being, right? So remember, shame really thrives in isolation. So building shame resilience involves being vulnerable and critical awareness of cultural traps. You have to know the things that you've been exposed to and what effect they've had on you. Those will come up for a while as you're going through this practice. You have to reach out for help to others, and speak shame with your trusted friends. What are they there for? Tell them what's going on with you. You'll find them to be, kind, and maybe they've been in the exact same place or something similar that they can help you from one stepping stone to the next. Connection is really the thing that dissolves the lie that you're alone in this, right? You have people that will help you. So, workbook time. Take out your workbooks and ask yourself, what are the harshest phrases your inner critic uses on you? What are those things that just like You literally say to yourself, and it like rips your heart, and you keep doing it. It's so weird, but you do. So think about those phrases. Write them down exactly as they appear in your mind or sound to you. And then, this is the really important part. Once you've done that, once you acknowledge what those words are, what that critic is saying, right? Ask yourself, what is the fear that is underneath? What is the fear under the words that this inner critic keeps repeating to me over and over again? That's the answer you want. You may get it right on the spot as you're doing the work in your workbook. You may get it as you're walking down the street this week sometime, but it will come to you once you ask the question in earnest. With the yearning in your heart, the answer will come back to you. You can feel that. Put your hand on your heart and just label that feeling and rewrite the phrase with a compassionate idea of, I made a mistake, but I'm still worthy. Or I'm learning and progress really counts. Read the pro- Read that as a power statement for yourself and read it out loud. You can feel the difference in the energy, releasing of the inner critic, releasing of that negative energy that holds you back, and allowing for it to be released and being able to move forward into a much more open and receptive space. Okay? Hope you can feel that difference. Always go so fast here. Okay. Tomorrow we'll go into, I think it's phase 3, how shame disguises itself in avoidance and numbing, and how to meet that pattern with clarity and care. Okay? Hope you enjoyed today. Today is Friday. I am feeling the autumn air like I always do every year. Every day of October to me is like heaven. Like gold dripping down on me. I don't even know how to explain that. Maybe because I was born this month. I don't know. But to me, it's the most amazing time. And I'll be taking the weekend off. I'm going to be actually doing a forest walk tomorrow, which I found online. And I'm so excited because I have been wanting to do that forever. So a little prayer answered. I'll be doing a forest walk. I'll be relaxing. I'll be rejuvenating. And I'll see you back on Monday. And I hope you come. See you then. Have a great weekend.